Welcome back to the pod, everyone. Hello, Lauren. How are you feeling today after your long week of work?
I am shattered.
You've got a sick voice. Do you know that?
I've got a tired voice.
Oh,
My
I've got a
sticky
tired
shoes. Sticky shoes. No, I'm shattered, honestly, this week. Took it out of me. 26 kids. Like, I actually was saying yesterday, I don't even spend this much time with my own kids.
That's a
you were
full class.
chaperoning at the panto, not the panto. I'm so used to saying that
Yeah,
because
I
you're
know.
a panto girl.
Panto ghetto.
This was in the theatre for Oliver,
Yeah.
which I went to see with Ella, and it was genuinely brilliant.
Yeah.
Actually, I was watching it going, see if I went to a Broadway show, right? And that was in full on New York. I'd paid £100 a ticket. I'd have been delighted.
Would you?
I'm not even kidding.
Oh, that is so good.
All the adults in it. Do you know what it is, right? I don't go to a lot of shows, right, in general. I think the last show I went to was the one where I met Gary Lucy.
Oh,
What
fangirl.
was that?
It was the
Full
Phil
money.
Monty. Is that what you
Yeah,
were
different.
Yeah, I want to see what's going on there. Gary Lucy.
She waited at stage door Harry programme like,
I actually did, by the way. Did we ever find that
Yeah.
picture?
yeah.
Oh, it's really
It's a proper,
embarrassing.
and it's a high selfie as well. It's like way up here.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
original selfies.
It's giving 2004.
Yes, it is.
So I've only been to that, and I think maybe one more that I can't even remember. So the fact that I seen that, like, it was brilliant.
It was.
And
was a
Ella
really
loved
good
all the
show.
dancing, and all the kids were amazing. It was really, really good. However, unfortunately, I had to cut it short because she wasn't well. And
What
all
is
of our
going
kids have
on?
not been well this week.
I actually think
know.
we should do it like a public safety, public health announcement because everyone has this bug that's like severe cramps in your stomach, spewing, but not all the time. They don't all spew.
But the spew is projectile.
Yeah.
Like, it's so bad.
It's a bit norovirusy, but not as fast.
Well, it was like projectile for maybe 10 minutes and then they were fine after, but just pure stomach cramps, like really, really bad that you think their appendix is going to burst or something.
Oh, is that what happens when you're sick?
No, I just thought that I don't know.
Is this medical information?
I just thought they get pure sore stomach and you're like, oh my God, I need to do something or something's
Yeah.
going to happen.
Well, Lauren was literally spewed on, and that's how she got hers.
I know, that's how I think I wasn't well. Because
You're
I
patient
took
zero.
not well and I was fine. And then Willis took not well and she was sick everywhere. Now, I mean everywhere.
See, when they're at that age where they don't know how to aim and how to be prepared, like, see, when you know they're sick and you want to say
And they
them,
just stand and go, blah.
No, but she tried to get out. The worst thing was, we said she could have a sleepover that night in Nora's bed. Nora's big, brand new, cream, boucle bed
oh God.
with the double duvet.
No.
So she was sick all over the floor, went up the bed. She was also sick down the other side of the bed, all over all the stuffed toys. The massive squishy got it. The throw cushions got
It ends
it.
up everywhere.
It was all over her, and she was like, I was trying to get to the toilet.
That's
And
a
it
week
was-
worth of washing into it.
I was up. I literally finished a shift. Can you hear my stomach?
Actually, carefully. Guess who's not had a rolling bacon?
It's like the grumpy one from Sesame Street. Grumpy.
Do you know, see when we were at my mum's, like staying at my mum's, which is the worst time for your child to get not well.
Uh-huh.
Marcus woke up and spewed spaghetti bolognese all over the wall,
Oh,
right?
it's
Cream
nothing
walls.
worse.
And I cleaned the whole wall. It's stained, right? So there's like splash, like a mural up the wall of just spew.
Abstract.
And I was like, Mum, I'm going to need to repaint that wall because it's like, that's not coming off. I've scrubbed it. And see, the next time we went to stay, Marcus is like, I'm not staying in that bed right next to this sick wall. I'm like,
It's
You
your
made
sick.
it.
you that did it.
You're
You
the
can't-
Picasso.
Uh-huh.
I like a Picasso. No, so that's been pretty horrific. And then you've been ill ever since, although you look better now.
Yeah, I feel better now, but I was ill, had to miss a night of work, and then the next night after that, she wasn't well. So it was like my first day back, and it was a belter. It was back to back shows, and that's not for the faint-hearted.
Oh, Jesus.
And I never finished until like 11:30, so you're not getting home till like 12:30. Got all into bed, climbed into bed, and then 2:00 is when she came down, and I was up the full night, cleaning the sick, hand washing a double duvet,
Oh my
because
God.
you can't fit that in your washing machine.
No, and also see the big washing machines, you don't want to go near them.
Yes,
Because people
because
put their horse jackets in them.
Yeah.
I just feel like that is like a bad person's dream. That's where you're going to take your clothes and wash
Well,
them if
after
you've
you-
done something.
After
Imagine
you've,
that.
like,
Yeah.
you've
These are
ordered
the
somewhere.
this is the washing machines at the garage.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
like I did
It's a weird,
specify.
Yeah.
weirdest concept ever. Whoever thought to put a massive washing machine at a petrol station?
I know
Yeah.
it's
Murderers, basically.
Yeah.
One thing I would say is it's something that you want to wash that's in there, but you definitely don't want it in your house washing machine, therefore it's going to be filthy.
Yeah,
Yes.
somebody said that to me. That's where all the horse riders go, and then everything that you wash comes out covered in horsehair, which is the worst.
I couldn't imagine it worse. I just
Allergies.
don't like pet hair. Allergy mom.
So what's your plans for this week, girls? We're actually recording on a Sunday for this reason, and it feels weird.
It does feel.
This is the freshest episode you're ever going to get, by the way.
I know.
Because
basically live.
It is.
it is like live now. Lorna, I'm getting your grumble.
Why you need to have
Why you-
breakfast in the
I
morning?
don't like breakfast in the morning.
Me
You need to,
neither.
even if you need to just make yourself.
Can't it actually makes me feel queasy?
I don't get queasy. I just like to do intermittent fasting because it's the only way that I can like maintain my weight loss.
Yeah.
I had a crispy bacon roll this morning. It was fantastic.
Was
And
the
a massive-
bacon really crispy?
Yep.
Okay, that's
A
fine.
crispy bacon roll on a soft roll
Oh,
with loads of butter.
that's delightful.
Like Andy
And
had to make-
sauce.
I don't have sauce. The butter is the sauce. See if you
I
put on
can't
enough butter.
understand that.
Yeah, if you put enough butter on, the
Super
butter's the
salty.
sauce.
No, I feel like you need a wee red sauce. Just
No,
to,
'cause
like.
then it changes the whole flavour. Actually, the other day, Andy was like trying to like surprise me with a bacon roll, and he came up the stairs and he was like, "Here you go," and I went, "It's got tomato sauce on it. I can't have that." I actually
Sorry.
can't.
How utterly crushing for his confidence
know.
that you've went. He's been like, I can just imagine him like in my head. He's got on like no top, a pair of boxers, and like a wee penny, right? And he's making her like there's music on in the background. He's having his wee morning.
He's singing
making
his
He's singing
songs.
his songs. He's thinking my wife's going to love this. I'll give her a breakfast in bed. And he's walked upstairs all happy with himself because he is a Labrador. And the black cats went meow. I don't like tomato sauce.
We fall out about this, right? Because the amount of times I've said to him, you don't put sauce on someone else's food.
Yeah.
Why is she speaking to him like she's his mum? We've spoken about this before, Andrew. You don't put sauce in other people's food.
It happened he used to make me stuff, right? And then he'd be like, right, there you go. And I look at it and it's covered in pepper. I'm like, I don't want
Pepper's
pepper.
a seasoning though. That's
Yeah.
for flavour.
Yeah,
It's
but
for
I
flavour.
get to choose that. That's
Okay.
my thing. I get
Okay,
to put the
plain
salt.
Jane.
I put
Don't
the-
season my food. Don't put any sauce on it. Give me it plain, dry and crispy.
Yeah, and then let me have the satisfaction.
Okay,
Andy pure gets
okay.
on it, but like see the salt and sauce situation. Like we had a chippy the other night, and I literally pour like a whole bottle of vinegar on and like a whole tub of salt.
Vinegar
I feel
first,
like-
though, obviously.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Anyone who does that the other way around, by the way, is
Stupid.
criminal because all you're doing is basically
Washing it
it's like washing your face after you put your makeup on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pointless.
Mhm.
You have to have the vinegar on first, therefore the salt will stick
Yeah.
to everything
Yeah,
else.
and then I have far too much salt and everything, right? But see, when I put the salt on, see once the salt like starts to sink in a wee bit and you can't see it anymore, I just put more salt on.
Yeah, you have to taste it all.
so much.
Funnily
Thank you.
enough, that is
Absolutely.
actually what Willis had for her dinner that night, that she was violently sick with a chippy.
Oh, no. Was she?
Quite literally, I'm like, do you not chew your food?
Oh yeah.
Like, it was full fish flakes.
yeah.
I was like, ugh.
I know that from the spaghetti
Also,
bolognese incident as
You
well.
just need to stop because this is so graphic.
I know.
Everyone can spell this podcast. It's like a, what do they call it? Like 5D.
Yeah.
It's a 5D
It makes-
experience. I have a wee recommendation, right? So it was my neighbour's birthday and he's quite like my dad in a lot of ways. Like he doesn't drink and he doesn't do anything that I would go, that's something that I would be able to go, you can get a present from that, if that makes sense. Like he likes like walking his dog, he likes music, all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, right? So I try and also think like when I'm buying him something for his birthday, because they're really good neighbours, says, what did I get him? And I said to his wife, I was like, what shall I get him for his birthday? Like, give me an idea. She's like, don't be daft, all that stuff. I was like, no, don't be British about this. Just tell me what he
Yeah.
likes, right? She's like, does love a cream cake and he loves a Danish pastry. I was like, perfect. Do you know where you need to go? And I've told you this before. It's a place called Daly. It's basically, see where Duke Street is? It's like behind there. Do you know where the Royal is? Round that direction.
Right, okay.
Google it. I'm not your map. Why are you asking me for directions? Sally's sat nav here.
Okay.
Anyway, it's round about there. And it is the weirdest situation, right? Because you would never think there'd be a coffee shop here. It's like all tenement flats and just a random coffee shop.
How did you come across this?
Fraser found it. And I swear to God, they do the best coffees ever. And see the cakes. Unreal.
I feel like Fred does that quite a lot. Just finds like wee hidden places.
Yeah. See the guy that owns it? He is probably the most interesting person I think I've ever met.
You've said this about somebody else from a different coffee shop.
Yes.
Who?
Yeah.
I
the
know, yeah.
I can't remember
Who?
what coffee shop it was. It was somebody else.
No, this is the same coffee shop.
Oh,
It's
wait.
the same one.
I thought this was that
This
one
is the
was
guy who
down-
used to work in. No, this is the guy who used to work in He used to work in Stone Island, and then he moved to America. He told me his whole story,
Oh,
right?
okay, it's the same guy.
He is.
I thought he'd
I
been
told him.
outdone by someone else.
I thought this coffee shop was in a totally different. I thought this coffee shop was near the Hydro.
No, it is not.
Oh,
It's
our
the
Google Maps
other
are off,
way.
really.
It's the other way. But see, this guy, he's so interesting, right? He needs to get a podcast. And see, if you're looking for somebody, go into a coffee shop, you want to chat, he will literally tell you his whole life story, and he's so interesting. He's not there now. I was forgutted because he's away doing like a solo trip in Thailand. One of these kill people,
lovely.
right? But the coffee shop's still running, and if you're ever around that area, please go in. It's always queued out. It's literally got 2 seats in it, and then like a front desk. It's
Is it all about the
brilliant.
gossip of the guy, probably?
It's so interesting.
The
He
2
needs to
seats
write a
in a
book.
coffee shop though kinda puts me off wanting to sit in though.
No, it wouldn't. I don't want
What?
to
There's
leave.
only 2 seats in it?
There's only a wee table and 2 seats. It's more like a takeaway type of thing, but it's so interesting. Please go and
He's providing entertainment, really.
majorly.
isn't he?
Yeah.
He's
People are
providing
going
company.
back, and I said that I was like, do you know every person that came in that shop, when we were there, he knew who they were and what their order was.
Oh, that's
I love
nice.
that.
I was like, I actually said to him, I was like, there's been about 14 people have walked in this shop, and you know every one of them. It's like, oh, they're all neighbours. But he was like, oh, how are you? How's your husband? How'd they gone last week? Is he home yet? But I'm like, how do you remember all that stuff? I love people like that, just like proper salt of the earth stuff.
I can't remember anybody. Like, I genuinely can't remember anybody.
No, I'm kind of like that as well.
What, you
So
don't
I can't-
remember?
can't
Yeah,
remember
my
people's
memory
names.
is shocking. I've said it before. I genuinely think I have like early onset something.
I've said this before, right? But I feel like the reason I can't remember anything is because I remember so much shit from years ago.
Yeah.
I've got so many like wee stories that'll pop into my head. I'm like, oh my god, do you remember this? Like, I was telling Andy the other night something that had happened like on a night out when I was like 14 that was making me laugh, and I was like, how can I remember that? But everything in my current life, stuff that actually matters, I can't remember anything.
Yeah. If you
It's
don't write it
sad.
down, it's not happening, or it didn't happen.
Very true.
That's it. You need to write it down. It's whole day, Jaylee.
It is. Well, I actually I was at the doctor's, right? Well, I'm like, my wee medical updates in here. And I was like, I've said this to you before, I want to get an assessment for ADHD, right?
I think you and I both, hun.
So I said to the guy, I was like, like blah blah blah. I went through the whole thing, and I was like, I'm basically just trying to find out what happens if I go private, and how do you get like your prescription recognised, blah blah blah, right? The NHS is absolutely done with stuff like this.
Yeah.
The guy's like, it's actually like 4 years wait list.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry,
You
I
can
thought
find
I'd
out
be
at the
taxed.
end of your life.
How ridiculous is that? I'm like, but I don't get a discount on my tax. Still have to pay full tax. And I've got potholes down the street and a 4-year wait list if I actually need something. Anyway, I thought they had like a really good wee tactic. So I told him like, forget everything. Like, I'm really disorganised, really overwhelmed with everything because I just can't remember like 10 seconds ago.
Yep.
And he's like, right, okay, like you sound like you've got all the symptoms and whatever, so we can put you on the list. I just need to fill out this form. So
Fill out
Cam-
this wee form.
Yeah. I've lost the form, obviously. And he knew I was going to lose the form. But he's
That was a play to buy them more time.
It was so clever. He's like, just fill out this simple form. It's just 1 page. Pick it up.
You're like, you
hand
do
it back
it.
in.
Pick
I'm
it
not going to
up,
do
walk
that.
outside, and forget everything I just told you.
That's exactly what it
3
is.
simple steps to not getting your
How
assessment.
clever is that? Oh, ADHD, yeah. Just tell it to fill the form out. I need them. My lion's mane's not cutting it anymore.
No, I went in our car last week and the lion's mane extract was sitting in the central console. I was
So
like, it's now on the road with you.
Oh,
It's no
really?
longer
It
I
doesn't
take this at
work.
home.
I feel like the best way to remember to take anything is to put it in somewhere you're always going to look.
Yep.
So I always have a drink with me, and I've got it in the centre console that I can just go, right, I'll take that. Another thing I've been taking is iron spray. Like, because my iron was pure low. You spray it in your mouth.
Does it taste like shit
It
though?
is the only iron supplement I've ever taken that doesn't taste like blood.
What does it taste like?
It tastes like pomegranate. That's the
Oh,
flavour.
lovely.
It tastes like blackcurrant
Delicious.
juice or something.
Are you getting enough of it, but or is it just a?
You do 4 sprays in your mouth and your
Uh-huh.
cheek, and then I take a vitamin D and a vitamin K2. So healthy as fuck.
Apparently, we're all supposed to be taking vitamin D because we're not getting enough of it.
I feel so much. This has only been like 4 or 5 days, and I feel like I've got so much more energy after doing that.
Yeah, but I feel like that as well because it's actually sunny. Like I
Yeah.
woke up this morning and I was like, sunshine, happy.
I know.
Like how long did that winter drag on for? And I love winter, but it genuinely felt like an episode of Game of Thrones. Like it was just never stopping.
I need to get my garden done before I can actually enjoy the spring. This is what's
Yeah.
stressing me out.
I need to clear mine as well.
Look at, see, once I get a water supply downstairs, when I can actually plug my pressure washer in, I'm going to go wild. I actually can't wait. I want to clean all my path and clean the decking and repaint everything, but I
Yeah.
just can't do anything until I've got a pressure washer.
That's the same with us as well. We've got like wee white walls, but they've like crumbled over the winter and stuff. Like it's been harsh.
I've been in my gardening area yesterday.
Yeah, you have. You were talking about
I put up
that
some
voice,
bamboo.
the voice note that she sent us actually, and then she started talking about her hydrangeas.
Yeah.
And I
Which
just
apparently
laughed and I went,
I've whacked them back.
typical Ash. Gardening. Mom's back.
But you do realise, see that audio, that, ooh, brother,
Brother,
ooh, what's that? What's that, brother? You know what I'm
Right.
talking about? I used that audio, right, on my big twiggy hydrangeas. Basically, these are like the most beautiful big flowers ever, but they have such an awful, ugly winter.
Yeah.
Like the ugliest of ugly. It's the poor unfortunate souls. I'll forever compare it to that because there's no other way to compare it. It's just twiggy and scary, a bit like the elephant's graveyard.
Also a wee bit like dangerous looking. 'Cause they're so-
Dangerous.
if you fell on that, you're fucked.
Jackie, right? Bear in mind, I cut them back. You're meant to leave them, apparently. I have not left them.
Oh,
Apparently,
have
I'm
you
now not.
damaged?
No. Apparently, I will not get any flowers off them now. And
You
the reason
killed
why I know
them?
that, no, I've not killed them. I've just cut them too far. So now it'll just all be green, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I put this on TikTok, right, as a wee funny joke. Like, oh, what are we like as hydrangea parents? Like, you have to go through the pure ugly stage. Like, what's that? Ooh, brother, ooh. So I used that audio, right?
Uh-huh.
All the comments are basically people criticising
Ugh.
the gardening, right? I have never been humbled so quickly. They're like, you do realise that the reason why they're like that is because you've hard pruned them. Have I?
Ew.
Have I? What does that mean?
Hard prunes.
I've hard pruned them.
CD
Are
gardener.
garden TikTok, are they all dicks?
They're ready.
Oh my
Garden
God.
TikTok, by the way, is a whole new realm that I am now part of.
I can say hand on heart, I'll never be there.
Me
I
neither.
feel like they want to bring me in and they want to look after me. There is definitely a
yeah, but
helpful
then you'll become
undertone.
one of them. You'll become one of them. Don't try and join
You
that
will.
gang.
Let's
They're
face
pull-
it. You're going to wiggle in there
They're-
with your eucalyptus.
They're pulling me.
deer.
They're pulling me.
Can I come in, please?
I can't. Guys, I'm not
Ready
here
to
anymore.
judge? Just let me know.
Anyway, shall we get into our stories? Because I've got a wee dilemma. It's an am I the asshole
Oh, I love
moment,
that.
Let's
right?
Can we make it like a different word though?
No, I like to say it
I
on
like
purpose.
it.
I like saying asshole.
Asshole.
What was that again? Asshole.
Meet the
Meet the
Fockers.
Meet the Fockers, that's it.
The baby kept saying asshole. Okay, right, so someone's made a complaint here. I am writing to make a formal complaint about several issues that we had during our stay at your premises. The booking was made under X name and we stayed in one of your lodges. Our overnight stay was booked for months in advance for a group of 11 women to celebrate a party. Celebrate a party? What? What does that even mean?
A birthday.
Exactly. We had looked at several venues that would accommodate our group size and varying ages, so we decided to come to your premises because we loved the beautiful style, views, and in particular, the hot tub. This is something that other venues were missing, so we were very much looking forward to this. In total, our group paid around £1,450 for our night stay and the activities afterwards. The majority of us drove from Glasgow, while two of our guests had actually flown for the occasion.
Oh my, for a night?
For a night.
Wow.
Wow, good friends, eh?
I know.
We had no problems checking in when we arrived, and the group were very impressed by the lodge. We were welcomed by a man who I'm assuming is the manager of some sort, and he was very friendly, brought us some cocktails from the reception because they'd forgotten to leave them in the room. We were told that the hot tub would shut off at 11 p.m. That's usually the case in most places, eh? We had dinner and drinks first at around 9:30 p.m. and we decided to make use of the hot tub. We'd been in the hot tub for less than 20 minutes before the bubbles stopped and the water began to turn cold. Given the freezing temperatures, it didn't take long before the water cooled significantly. God, she likes to get into detail, eh?
I
What the
know.
hell? We were told by the older members of our party who had been getting ready for bed that the electricity had been cut out in the upstairs rooms. Not only did this leave the bedrooms in darkness, but it also meant that we had a loss of use of one of the ensuite bathrooms. On further investigation, we also realised the downstairs bathrooms had no power either. We contacted the reception who sent someone to our lodge. For the next hour and a half to 2 hours, we had several people showing up to our lodge to try and fix the electricity. By this point, our celebrations had stopped and we were sitting in silence in the living room, waiting for this to be resolved.
Oh, mood killer.
Two of our older guests were tired, but unable to go to bed as the servicemen were in and out their room. I can't imagine them
Serviceman.
sitting with their eyes priced open going, I'm dying for sleep. Eventually, they gave up and advised us that they would send someone to check again in the morning. Considering we paid all of this money for one night, we were not pleased about this news, as it was supposed to be a celebration, but in the end, everything stopped at 9:30 on a very sour note and we all went to bed in darkness. I am somewhat surprised that given the health and safety laws, we were not offered an alternative lodge at this point. How can it be safe for 11 women to stay in bedrooms with no lighting? Both rooms upstairs were in complete darkness, and during the night our electricity was cut out further, meaning that by 3 a.m. we had only lights in the hall and one toilet between 11 people. The only toilet with a light that worked was the one that was by the front door. In the morning, no one could have showers, and the ensuite had no windows and remained in darkness. A few of our group were panicking as they hadn't been able to charge their phones and were relying on sat-navs to get home later, but we heard nothing from reception, so I called them again at 8:30, and then they sent the manager to check on us again. He was very friendly and apologised. He managed to fix the electricity within a few minutes of work on the fuse box. However, he advised that the hot tub would take some time to heat up again. In all honesty, by this point, the atmosphere of the weekend had been ruined, and we were hoping to leave the lodge and carry on with the next part of our trip. We were then met with a rude phone call by the reception at 11:15 asking, do you know you're supposed to check out by 11 a.m? This has already been an awful experience by this point, and we'd left the lodge with no electricity all night. I found it astounding that we were being harassed to get checking out 15 minutes late. What?
I'm just thinking something. Carry on.
Okay.
This is ringing a bell. Is this not seeming so familiar to you?
Familiar to who, Ailey? Familiar to who?
Do you not recognise this? You do, actually.
Do you know what this is, Lauren?
This is
Us. This is us.
I would like to. There's more. There's more. Would you like me to go on?
The second you started with this, I was like, that fucking happened to us as well.
Is this fucking play about us?
no joke. When you started describing it, I was
Listen,
like, I know that place.
This goes on and on and on and on. But do you know what happens at the end of this, girls? What happens at the end of this? I would like a response to my complaint acknowledging each point made as soon as possible to try and understand why this happened. There was also an issue with the afternoon tea, right?
Right.
Oh my God, there was a huge
massive issue with afternoon tea. However, I would like you to consider compensation as we paid over £1,000 for a luxury lodge with a hot tub only to receive a lodge with no electricity and what can only be described as a cold outdoor bath. Do you know what happened after this, girls? This is Ailey's complaint about my hen do. What happened after that?
The hen do?
What happened after that? 11
happened?
people away for a hen do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was, but we've just been there.
What happened after that, girls?
What happened?
Oh, they definitely gave us another night back, which meant we definitely went back. And guess who remembers? My mum. She was listening to that episode that we said, when I basically said to you guys, we did my hen do the second time round, Ash's hen do part 2. And you two, wee cows, turned around and accused me of being a liar. But actually, you ekin sued me. You told me I was a liar. Actress, get the fuck out.
We don't remember stuff though, so
guess who does?
Ask me when I was 14, I'll tell you what happened then.
Use this as your case study for that doctor's appointment, Ailey, because that there is a long-winded message and she remembers nothing about the resolution.
I do like a complaint letter though.
But see that, right?
And my element, like...
See, when my mum phoned me that day, she was like, I've just listened to the podcast, right? And Ailey Wells has got no memory because we absolutely went back for your second hen do because she complained about things that happened in the first one and that's why we got the night for free.
But see, the second time, who went? Because I feel like...
My gran never went. The girls from London never went. You went.
I don't think I went.
You did?
I think I was on holiday.
You weren't on holiday. You went. I've asked
No,
my mum
I was
this.
100% not there because I remember
like
you
no
sending
photos.
I remember you sending me a video or something when I was away.
You were there.
Pics, it didn't happen.
You were there, and Courtney was there as well because she was no longer pregnant by that point, and we were all saying how nice it was that Courtney got to go.
What did we do?
Went in the warm hot tub.
Because it was on this time.
Because it was on this time. So there we go. See if anyone wants to. Remember, I'm going to try and find the audio for it and slip it in here somewhere where I say I will die in the hill that we went back there because I was correct.
That's so funny because when you're reading that, I'm like, that is so similar to what happened. I bet you it's the same lodge as us.
That's literally, I was listening going, I know that place.
Also, do you know what? See,
that's the best complaint, by the way. See, when you want to read the rest of it, the bit about the afternoon tea is like my favourite. The cold outdoor bath.
But do you know that
finished me off.
See, when I was younger, I remember going on holiday and the hotel had like it was like a weird spa section, right, where they had different jacuzzis and had saunas and stuff, but you had to go and ask for the key first.
Oh.
Right? Bit dodgy. But I remember going up and saying to the guy, like, can we have the key for the jacuzzi? And I remember the line that always sticks in my head, again, using up valuable memory space. The jacuzzi is nice, but it has no bubbles. That is always in my head.
The jacuzzi.
And the response was,
Jacuzzi?
The jacuzzi is nice. And I remember being like, so it's just a bath. That's just a bath with several other people. There's no bubbles. A big cold bath.
Also, I can't be dealing with a jacuzzi that see the wee like bubbles that you would make in your juice.
Oh, you want?
I want the jets. Shh. I want it firing on my back. I want to be in pain.
Me personally
Wow.
would never now go use a public jacuzzi. Genuinely would never. After seeing that video of the guy who was like really, really, really overweight, right? I can't remember what program it was, but
Dispatch is something or other.
yeah, it was something like that, right? And he was basically saying that he cannot wipe his own arse, right? But the girl was like, okay, so is that a big problem for you? And he was like, I basically just go down to the jacuzzi once a week and get right in over the jets and just
Why not just
let that
take
do the
your
work?
shower head off the wall and do it yourself?
Oh, that would have been the shower could reach.
Well, this was his own automatic system that he was sharing with several other unknowing people. That would
Which-
just,
They're also
kinda
cleaning their
defeats the-
bum holes.
But
as
it
well.
defeats the point because then he's just sitting in his own shit. So now it's not
But he
just
was already
confined to
sitting-
his arsehole, it's now confined to like his whole body.
yeah, maybe it gets a wee bit less, and then he jumps in the pool, I would imagine, and swims a bit. I don't trust anyone.
Ew, no.
Don't trust anyone, especially in public settings.
No, that's disgusting.
It wouldn't be me.
I'm sorry. That
Did you not once see somebody like doing something really weird with a jacuzzi?
So, yeah, I was
With
going
a leg
to that.
up?
I was at Stobo
Like a dog
Castle,
peeing?
oh, for
right?
the love of God.
and a woman was at the side of the pool, laying her head on the side of the tiles of where you would like, to pull yourself up.
Yeah.
To get out the pool. She was laying like that with one leg up over a jet.
Shameless.
And
Absolutely
I literally looked
shameless.
at her and I went, I know exactly what's going on there. And she looked at me, smiled, and continued.
Oh no.
It was actually horrendous.
Why? People have no shame. That's such an exhibitionist thing to do.
Yeah, it was grim.
And do you know what? She was just enjoying herself far too much to even stop when you looked her in the eye
That's gross.
and thought, I can't stop now. Don't stop me now.
I mean, she wasn't really looking at me. Her eyes were kind of crossed like that. So, double
Was she quivering a little bit or was it just the jets? Right, I've got my voice note here. Will we play this and
Oh,
see
God,
what it is?
I love
Voice
a
note.
voice note.
There's no context at all. It's just a voice note.
Oh, it's
so
a
we'll
bit of a
see what-
gamble.
We'll see what we say.
Girls, I was just at the McDonald's drive-through shop, and obviously had the pod on in the car, and my car's got a screen in the middle, obviously between the two seats, and I'm just sitting at the window waiting to pay, already feeling judged for being a fat bastard, but anyway, he's come up to me with a card machine, so I go to scan my phone and forgetting that what's on my screen, and he's reading dry humping and vaginas. And honestly, the look I got, he just doesn't understand.
Dry humping and vaginas.
By the way, that's not even the worst title. There's
It's
definitely
really
worse
not.
than
There
that.
have been a lot worse, but also that is something we maybe need to consider. Does anyone want us to tone down the titles just in case you're a bit embarrassed at the,
worst
traffic
one,
lights?
a girl who worked in the gym that I used to go to said that she went to play something on her phone,
Uh-huh.
but it was still connected to the car or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And it was her and her husband and her husband's work colleagues in the car. And the one that came up was dildos in the dishwasher.
It's a classic though.
It's a classic.
It's a classic.
It's a good one.
My sister-in-law hid her pants in my husband's bag to make me think he was cheating on me.
Whoa,
What a title.
Stop a minute.
What an opening line.
Whoa. Your
My
sister-in-law.
sister-in-law
his
hid her
sister-
pants.
Hid
So
her
I always
pants.
use you guys as the thingy. That's basically Lauren hiding her pants in Fra's bag to make you think
He's having an affair.
that Fra's having an affair.
Wowie.
Right.
Bonnie Boiler.
I've been married for 7 years and always had problems with my husband's sister, Jess. She's never liked me. She was a bully at school and hated that I ended up with her brother, especially since he used to date one of Jess's friends.
Okay.
And our relationship started quite soon after they'd split up. By the way, there was no overlap, but Jess always believed that I stole her friend's boyfriend, basically. So she's always had that weird loyalty thing
So
to
let
her.
me just get angry at the new girl rather than my
Okay.
brother.
I know. She spent the first year of our relationship trying to break us up. She'd tell him that I was cheating and she'd side chat me to warn me about him and how he was a cheater. Anyway, we got through it, got engaged, and Jess was raging. From the time we got engaged until we got married, she was on a full rampage trying to make sure that it didn't happen. One of her many mental things that she did was hiding her underwear in my husband's bag after his stag do. She picked him and the boys up from the airport, and I genuinely think that she slipped her pants into his bag. It sounds crazy, but so is she. By the way, I'm 100% certain that he didn't cheat because 1, by his reaction when I found the pants, which was genuine confusion. 2, by Jess's reaction when I pulled her up. And 3, who would cheat and bring the girls' pants home anyway?
True.
He
Didn't.
instantly said it was Jess that was responsible, which says it all to me. And Jess denied it, and Jess denied it, but her face went scarlet. Obviously, we still got married. She cried happy tears throughout the day, and 7 years later, she's still a fucking nightmare. Another example, she invites him to her barbecues and not me, and says it's family only. And she invites her friend, his ex from years ago, as if that would annoy me. She also cuts me out of pictures on her Instagram.
Oh, she's petty.
Yeah,
She
she's
is.
petty.
She's
She's a petty girl.
How the loyalty to that pal though? She's
I
like,
know.
I'm still gonna hate her. Like 7 odd years later.
Nearly 10 years later, by the
That's
time you add the
ridiculous.
going out, the engagement,
Yeah.
the wedding.
She's nice to my face and I've learned to live with it, but the pants situation will never leave my mind. Imagine dropping your sexy undies into your brother's bag.
Ooh, it screams creepiness though as well.
And
I
why
think
do I
there's
feel
something
like
about it.
her and the pal have probably like schemed that together,
Yep.
like split them up.
And also, let's face it, right? See if you want to like err on the side of caution and go, did he maybe do that? The guys fucking leave their own stuff on holiday, never mind bring back stuff that's not their
Yeah.
own.
No. And how would it, for that whole situation to have happened, for him to be guilty, to not only cheat, but also steal the girl's pants, take them home, and then to know that Jess has also at some point been involved, you just know it's going to be her.
Plus, let's be fair, were they worn? Because you can tell when a pair of pants has been worn.
I don't want to hear the details of that.
No, but like, if you know
Don't
that
go
there's
any
like
further, I know what you're like.
No more,
that they're
Lauren.
like
Back in
freshly
the box.
washed pants, then you
Yeah.
know for a fact that it's not like being a one night stand and he's just grabbed all the clothes and shoved them in his bag to come home.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
they're clean. Like,
Yeah.
they're new.
Oh yeah, I think
That's
you
what
would
I was
know.
going
Yeah,
with.
You would be able to tell for sure. I think that it sounds like it's been her.
I think it's been her as well.
She's an absolute.
And see if she's
Horror.
still like that 7 years later and not inviting you to family parties and doing all of that, I don't think she'll ever
How
change.
can you say it's family only when you literally share the name?
Yeah.
Like, you're, I mean, the marriage thing shouldn't mean anything, but like, you've been together for what, 10 years?
I really hope he's
Probably.
not going to these parties though. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, true.
That is a really important thing.
Yeah, you
if
would
he's like,
actually have
sorry,
to-
Jess says you can't come, I'd be like, Jess fucking had a pair of pants and tried to split us up.
Mm.
Jess had a pair of pants and tried to split us up.
Oh, why do I feel like there could have been some good like workaround for that to set her up? Do you know what I mean?
What, Jess?
I had to find out if they definitely are her pants. Like I would have been tempted to like put them on her washing line or something and see
Yes.
and be there and see if she reacts to it.
Like if she unclipped them and just took them in as if
Uh-huh.
like, oh, they're there.
Yeah. Rather than, or literally, if you'd have got them and went, oh my God, that's so weird. See me picked him up from the airport. These fell in his bag.
Your big bloomers, Jess.
It's
You big
taking you
cow.
back.
Yeah. I would
And also,
need to-
see the other part there, you said that she's nice to my face.
She's not.
She's not nice to your face.
no.
How can you possibly be nice to someone's face if you're not inviting them to family get-togethers?
That's given pure psychopath, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like really watch her.
Are you sure she's not in love with her best friend? Because that, like, she's
Are you sure
literally-
she's not in love with her brother? It's fucking weird.
It is actually
The cut in the Instagram pictures as well is so like
petty.
it's so petty,
Childish.
but it's pure nasty though as well because
Yeah.
it's like deliberate, like it's nasty, like that must be something that like okay she might not be bothered, but surely it must get to you a wee bit. Like
Yeah. But what do you do,
Just
right?
leave it in
So
the picture.
what do we do for our girl? What do we tell her that she should do for, like, getting at least a wee bit of a kind of satisfaction at all these things? First of all, I'm going to say if you're ever involved in any pictures, make sure you're right beside her.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because then she can't cut you off the
Put
end.
your arms round her on either side.
Uh-huh.
Make it really hard to
Embrace her.
edit you out.
Embrace her entirely, right? That's going to be number one. Secondly, show up at the family parties and be like, oh, I thought these were family. Ting, ting, ting. flash engagement ring.
Kapow!
Winch your brother in front of her repeatedly.
And our pal.
Yeah.
Who seems to always be hanging about as well.
Like literally the whole winch thing, then just look back and go, wee.
The wee American movie of the wee wink at the end as well.
Yeah. Ting ting.
Ha ha ha.
I would also feel the need to make some kind of dig about the pants in front of her, just to remind her that you still remember it. Do you know what I mean?
Do it over the dinner table. Do it at one of the family parties and just go, your big lacy knickers made your way into your brother's bag. Do we need to get you help? Or, you know, are you going to stop this now, Jess? Like,
Also,
not only
imagine
is
he
she...
actually been a bit of a rat bastard.
I did think that.
And
I did
he's-
think
No,
that.
we don't
Sorry to
want
say, I know we
because she
don't. I know we
thinks-
don't. I know we don't. But listen, we need to always think of all possibilities. Imagine that's the perfect cover up.
Yeah.
Dare I say it? To go, oh, they're not mine. I don't know where have they come from.
Probably
That's
Jess.
Probably Jess. By the way, know what she's like. She's a psycho.
That's how we need to know if they're worn or not.
Who brought
And then Jess
up-
has actually been messaging saying, by the way, he's a cheat, just watch. Imagine she's telling the truth the whole time.
Oh, no. It's done a full 360.
And here's the thing: you can't hate your sister that much if she's picking you up from the airport.
And what maybe she's went red because she's been like, oh my God, my brother needs me to cover for him.
Yep.
Oh, don't do that.
Sorry. We don't know.
But she cuts her out of pictures and doesn't invite her to family
Yeah, but
parties.
she
Why
could
is
just be a
that?
bit of a bitch. She could just be a wee bit of a bitch.
She could just be a bit of a bitch.
But maybe the
brother-
cheating bit is
But
unrelated.
Yep, maybe it's unrelated.
Oh shit.
Or who knows, maybe the pants belong to somebody that one of the brother's pals got with.
Yep.
And it's like somebody else is going to be in a big trouble because they're also married.
Yeah.
Why
Or
don't
due
you
to
just
get
leave,
married.
like nobody put anybody's pants in their bag?
I know. That would have been so much easier.
That'd be a simple way to do it.
Yeah,
Everyone go home with your own pants on.
Yeah.
that's true. And keep them on the whole night.
Yes.
None of this would ever happen.
I'm looking forward to getting all the stag do and hen do stories for the show.
Yes.
Yeah, I
cannot
cannot
wait.
wait. This
How
is
are we
the
going to get
season.
stag do stories though? Because we're going to need guys to come clean.
We'll need to. Oh.
Do we
No,
need to
I
do something
think,
anonymous?
Right, I think we'll do an anonymous. I think we need to literally say, but listen, guys, also, right? We're saying that as if guys don't talk. Guys love to go home. Some guys, not all, and tell all the stories to
Yeah.
their missus.
Yeah.
There's some relationships that will literally be the whole secret service, you get told nothing, boys, lad code, all that pure bullshit. Or you get the relationship where it's like they're that way with their pals, then when they go home with their girlfriend, they're like, "Oh, I'll tell you this."
Yeah.
Because guys
They're
love a
literally putting their
gossip.
goonie on with a wee cup of tea.
Aye.
Wait till I tell you this.
That's Fra, by the way.
Aye.
How many times when we've been over and then Fra comes in with his wee cup of tea, like, what are we talking about?
He is.
He loves to sit down though. He's
Fraser's
full
like
of
a
good
best pal.
ideas.
Yeah.
No, by the way,
Just
what
want
with
a wee
him last
peppermint
night.
tea? You want a
he-
wee peppermint tea?
I know.
Sure, Fra.
I know, hostess with the mostess, host with the most. But he loves to come home and go, "Wait till I tell you what this happened."
Yeah. If
So
I
I'm
tell you
gonna-
this, don't
I
tell
love
anyone.
If I tell you this, you can't tell a soul.
I love that.
So I'm going to say some of our girls are going to have that situation.
Yeah.
Or some of our guys that listen.
Yeah.
Guy listeners.
We have a few percent of guys that listen.
Yeah,
we
But
do.
Do you know what we could do then? We could basically, the girls that listen to this, because it's mostly girls, we need to get them to speak to their husbands who have been on stag do's. Obviously, I can ask Andy because he's been on them all.
Yeah, of course.
He probably
get
knows
him-
everybody,
Yeah,
actually.
He will. He
He'll know
definitely,
everyone anyway.
definitely been on them. And get them to grass in their pals, but anonymously. You don't need
Of
to name them.
course, no
but
names.
just tell us like what your biggest scandal has been on a
Yep.
stag from what you've seen. I'm pretty sure I've got one that's came into my head, but I'll need to vet with Andy first just to make sure.
Yeah, but
it's-
not even just
it's all right.
scandals.
Double check with the gaffer.
Yeah, but no. First Stevie's clock done. See, not even just scandals, even just funny stories.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like I'll never forget. Remember that story? The stag do that they'd gone on, and they dared one of the guys to trade shirts for one of the most honking shirts they could find in the venue. Right,
Uh-huh.
so they were all on a night out in a club, and basically they went, "Ailey, you need to go and find the worst shirt in here, like Hawaiian shirt or whatever, and get them to trade for you."
Yeah.
But he took off a All Saints brand new
Idiot.
shirt and gave it to a guy 5 times the size of him who squeezed into it and burst it all, and he swapped it for a Hawaiian shirt.
And then
was
probably
thinking
woke
of
up in the
you.
morning and was like, why am I wearing this?
Yep, because they were just so smashed. Fraser actually said to me last night, we were watching Ultra Fest, is that what it's called? It's like a big dance festival in Miami,
Uh-huh.
and we keep saying we want to go. And he's like, we need to redo my stag anyway. He says to me, and we've still not done your 30th yet. So why don't we go next
Is that
year?
how that works?
This
How
is
did
really-
he need to redo his stag?
Because he wasn't well in his stag. Remember, we thought they had Aussie flu.
Yeah.
So he was like really
It's
not well.
Andy's been
in
come
the
on,
air.
Fra, come on.
Oh, but
Because
he's not invited.
Andy's running out of stags.
This is just a mean Fra thing.
Oh, right,
Oh,
okay.
so
You
you
can't call
could-
it a stag.
Yeah,
it's
you
just
couldn't
use
just have
it.
a holiday then.
So he's like, we're redoing my stag, and we didn't get to do your 30th because we had to cancel
We're
because
redoing
Charlie
my stag
wasn't.
and it's just you.
Me and you. Me and you. So see if there's any like gossip.
I just imagine Fra if you're dressed up at the airport in something dead embarrassing. And you've got a
It's me.
t-shirt on.
Me
You've got
laughing.
a t-shirt on like Fra Stag 2024.
Brad's redo.
And she's looking going, what a sad couple is that all you could get for his stag? And he's just,
And
that's his wife. That could be on the back of the t-shirt.
Oh my
We're
God,
having
that's
a
so funny.
joint stag 30th.
Because we need an
On a
excuse
holiday.
for a holiday. We can't just go.
Oh my God. That is what it is. You try and justify all these things.
I know.
£5 a week until then.
That's that.
That used to be Andy. Anytime that he'd be like, "Oh, we're thinking of me and the guys are thinking of going away." Before Andy was getting married, before the stag do thing, it was we're thinking of going away, and I'd be like, "Oh, like we need to pay for this, and he'd be like, "I know, but we're just all going to set up a direct debit for like £5 a week."
Uh-huh.
And then by the time, oh no, it was for their 30th, wasn't
for
it?
their
They were
30th.
talking about going to
This
Vegas.
was when they were 25.
Yeah, they were 25. It was, see if we set up £5 a week, by the time we're 30, we'll have like £1,000 or something like that, wasn't
But
it?
we were
And it's
like
free. It's basically free by that
basically
point.
free. It's a coffee.
Uh-huh.
They started
I
doing all
love
this
that,
sales
justifying
pitch.
it.
It's like a big sales pitch, like in
Yeah.
a coffee. I mean, how much? It's a coffee. That coffee's nothing. You buy a coffee without even thinking
It's
about
just a
it.
coffee every day for the next 5 years. That's
Yes,
it.
that is it.
That's it.
No thanks.
See, really though, it's like you're saying that to me as if you're like you're like reinventing the wheel. Like, I know how money works.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're going to go to a dance festival?
Ah.
I,
It's not an
I would
actual
love to
festival.
see videos of you and Fra just raving it
But we
out.
would. He actually said to me, he was going, "Look at that. Imagine you were on my shoulders." It's like, what? This large size of me on your shoulders. Me, all of me.
I just see Fra
your
with like the
shoulders.
like early 2000 glasses with all
With
the
the
lines
lines,
on.
yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, nobody could see a thing with him.
yeah.
Nobody could see a
Is
thing.
it, what sort of music is it? Pure dance music?
Yeah.
Like
Calvin
rave-
Harris was at it.
Oh my God.
I think that'd be so much fun. And I actually don't even feel like you would need to drink.
No.
Like, you could just enjoy it.
Isn't it sad though that we're at an age when you go to America, you don't even need to worry about the alcohol limit
Yeah.
because we're all well above 21.
Well above
Although, I got ID'd the other day.
it.
Or
Did
what?
you?
She went, "Are you over 18?" And I actually went, "I love
Did you
you."
have a single tear?
Yes. I went, "I'm 32." And she went, "All right, then." And I was like,
You're
I did
literally double the age.
Yeah.
Isn't that double? 18. Something like that.
Not really.
46.
36.
36?
Yeah, you're not double the age.
Not quite.
Not quite.
Stop it.
But you're nearly.
But yeah, I was like, "Are you over 18? I love you.
Oh my God, I'd be so happy with
Love
that.
you, honey."
I remember being ID'd before, but it was like at a time where I was like not that long after having Charlie, and I was just pure harassed. Right, I'd done the big food shopping. I was buying a gift. I had my house keys. I had my 2 children. I had my under eye bags. We were ready to go. I was 1000% a fully fledged adult with a mortgage, right?
Yeah.
And this girl ID'd me. She was younger than me. She ID'd me, and I was looking at her going, "I've not got my ID. I've got nothing on me to show what age I am." And she was like, "Oh, I can't serve that then." I was like, "I literally have 2 children, and you can tell by looking at me that I'm like, why? But you don't look like you're over 25. Are you over 25? I'm like, I am 25.
Yeah.
But you're not over 25. I was like, yeah.
I remember going to Tesco once with Kirsty, right, who was 3 years older than me. And I, at the time, must have been like 19 anyway,
Yeah.
right? But she was buying drink for something and she had her ID, but I never had anything for me.
Yeah.
And the girl was like, "I can't in case you're buying it for her."
Yeah, you can't.
And
do
I was
it.
like,
What
Like,
was this, my mum?
I'm an adult.
Yeah, what my mum
And she was
there.
like, "Yeah, but if there's more than one person, then you all need ID."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What if somebody comes in with their actual child and they want
That's
to buy a
different
bottle of
though,
wine?"
but yeah, if it's 2 people that are round about the similar age, then both of them have to be ID
I was like,
because
I
the drink
love
could
it.
be
somebody to jump
the
in
drink
for me.
could be
Here
for.
we go, co-op girl here.
I know, this is it.
No, but that-
Lauren.
That was it. That was the whole. I tell you, it was the biggest power trip when they were cunts.
See you.
Sorry.
Got your ID?
I
No?
know. You with
Sorry.
your big balls.
Yep. Bye. Bring me down your ID.
Whereas, see, when I was younger, I remember always thinking I would jump in for anyone.
Same.
I would do it for anyone.
I know it's a pure night changer. Stop being pure dicks.
You could save my whole night
You
if you
could
just
make
buy
it
it
a really good time.
Now I
What,
would
and then you
never.
turn 18 and you're like, I would never do that.
Oh yeah.
I also remember thinking when I used to have to get the bus before I drove, I used to think, see if it was pure pouring with rain and somebody's waiting at the bus stop, I would offer them a lift. I remember thinking that I would genuinely do that.
Would you? Fuck, you're the cold-hearted
Now
person.
I would never, of course, because I drive. Now I just drive past them like,
Look at me in my chariot.
she swerves into the puddles and all that.
so many good intentions to be such a good person.
I thought you
What?
told you this.
What?
We got a lift on holiday. Did I tell you this?
No.
Who?
We were walking down from our villa, me, Fraser, and the kids, and we were walking down. It was quite warm at this point in the day, so it was like kind of like the early afternoon.
Uh-huh.
We were walking down the road, and this car, this big people carrier, verges up beside us, and this lovely girl put her window down, and she was like, "Where are you going?" And I went, "We're going to the front. We're going to the promenade." And she's like, "Jump in, I'll give you a free ride."
No, have you never
Right.
seen any movies where...
And I looked at Fraser and I went, "This looks like we're getting stolen."
Yep.
Us and our
Human
children are
trafficking.
getting. Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, "What the fuck?" She's like, "Jump in." She's like, "I'm actually opening a restaurant down here. So we're doing construction just now." She's opening up a Chinese restaurant. She was so lovely. Originally from China, had lived in Lanzarote for the last like 6 years, was building her business and all that. And her family were all moving over and whatever. And she gave us a lift down to the front. And then she was like, "Have a nice day." Her name was Jessica. She's like, "Have a nice day." And we were like, "Bye, Jessica." And then later on, I was like, "Fraser, do you actually think that she was like making a restaurant?" He's like, "I don't know." Walked further along, and this beautiful, brand new, you'll see it when you go along because I think it'll be ready. This beautiful brand new row of shops
Uh-huh.
are down the front. At this like bit that was derelict before, they've actually created all these new shops, and this restaurant was there, getting all these gorgeous wee lanterns and all that up inside, and it's
Aw.
a restaurant.
Maybe she was literally like, if I offer tourists a lift, they're going to come for dinner.
Yeah, that's
it's the
obviously
perfect
That's it.
a perfect
Beautiful.
marketing campaign.
So
For anyone
personal.
listening, do not ever take a lift off a stranger.
No.
But Ella loved it because she had all like, see the kind of, what do you call it? Is it kawaii? Is that the kind of stuff? She got
Yeah.
all these wee kawaii things in her car. So Ella was like, "I love all the stuff
Aw.
she has. It's so cute. It's kitsch."
So kitsch.
Oh yeah, girl. So
I love how the other day when I said to Ella, just a conversation starter, right, if you could only have one food for the rest of your life, it was your death row meal we were talking about.
no, Andy went to say to her, "See if you had your, see if tomorrow this was like your last day."
I didn't want to say it.
in the earth.
He
and
said that and then he thought,
right, but
Pull it back.
and I was looking at him going like, "That looks painful. What's coming out your mouth sounds painful." Somebody help him. And you just basically went, "If it was the last meal you ever had to eat for the rest of your life, what would you have?"
And
What'd she say?
sushi.
Yeah.
I was like,
that.
sushi, Ella, go, you can have anything. She's like, no, sushi.
But I honestly
Oh,
think
health
that
queen.
see all the kind of, she loves anything Japanese, Chinese. That's all her thing. It's her pure calling. She loves
Yeah.
all of that stuff, fashion, style, everything about it. She loves it all.
She's picked an aesthetic, hasn't
She's
she?
picked an aesthetic and she's sticking to it.
Good
she,
girl.
she loves, that's her, anything to do with that kind of culture, she's well into it. She's got this really, I don't know, see, because she's about to be 9, right? She's kind of went from like a wee girl into like a preteen, a tween kind of
Yeah.
thing. But I feel as if she's a couple of years older. I've always said this than her actual age. Last night I was in the bath, right? And it's very much like an open door policy in my house, right? If I'm having a bath, you can come and talk to me. I don't care. So I was like exfoliating, right? Really going for it with exfoliating, wash myself. And she came in and was wanting to get ideas for a dress for when it's her birthday, right? So she was showing me all these dresses she liked, whatever. And then I just seen her looking up from the phone and looked at me and kind of smirked and did a wee laugh and then looked back down at her phone. And I went, "What are you laughing at? Are you laughing at my body?" And she went, "No." And I went, "Ella, are you laughing at my boobs?" And she went, "I'm not. Stop. I'm not." And I went, "Ella, you are, aren't you?" And she went, "I'm not." And then I just like killed it. I was like, "Listen, see when you've had 2 kids and you look like this, I'll not be laughing. I'll not be sitting beside you. You are laughing at you." And she went, "That's because you'll not be here." Pardon?
savage.
Pardon? I went, "What do you mean?" I went, "What, like I'll be dead?" She went, "No, why would you be in my house when I'm in the bath?" I thought she meant that I would be
You'll be dead by then,
Yeah.
But what she meant was, she said to me, "You'll probably be in your house with Daddy with your new dog. But Maggie's now dead."
Oh, yeah.
R.I.P. Maggie.
I'm not killed off, but the dog's been killed off. If you want to get involved, remember you can send us your dilemmas, stories, rants, voice notes, all that stuff. Specifically now heading up to showtime, I want to get a wee kind of flurry of hen do, stag do, wedding chat. Like I love all that stuff. There's always some kind of drama.
And it doesn't need to be your story. That's the main thing. It could be anybody's story.
Yep.
Yep.
Something you've heard, something
You
you've
don't need
seen
to ask anyone
online.
in.
anything at all, send it in. 07428 957 885 is the hotline bling. And remember, if you want to watch this episode, you can go and watch it on YouTube. But you can also get this and also Confession Sessions double episodes on Supercast, which is getting a whole new look, by the way.
Yeah, it looks
I've seen this. It looks
amazing.
really good. So we'll leave the details for that in the description of this episode. So click on there and you can unlock all of that. And you can listen audibly as well
Yes,
if you want to.
Thanks very much for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.